Well, infrastructure is vital to the American economy, but too often out of sight is out of mind. Joining me now is our Courtney Dehoff.
Well, pipes, roads, and water support the lives we lead, but the average person doesn't know where they go or even how they work. And a New York Times best-selling author says it's high time we learn. Across America, cities and towns, homes and businesses all depend on one basic resource: water. A resource that many take for granted.
The challenges are our behavior. What we need to do to improve our water is use less of it, treat it more carefully, keep the stormwater where it belongs, which is where it falls, rather than racing downstream hours after it falls.
We have to protect it, we have to conserve it, retain it, manage it, plan for it, pay for it.
Scott Hewler is the author of On the Grid, a book that traces a single drop of water from Hewler's faucet to the Gulf of Mexico and a drop of wastewater all the way to the Atlantic.
People don't even understand that the stormwater, when you turn on the tap, that's stormwater. That's stormwater that you're getting. And when we just channel it away and dump it into the river and then it flows out to the ocean, we've wasted this resource.
Hewler says lack of knowledge and old, outdated infrastructure could lead to the loss of a commodity that is essential to life.
When people started thinking about these issues, about where are we going to get our water, what's going to happen, our water is unsafe, or our water is not plentiful enough, they went through this enormous flurry of building dams and building pipes and building treatment plants, and it was great. And you know, they paid a lot of taxes and the government built these things, and all these wonderful New Deal era and post New Deal projects came out, and it was wonderful. And up through even the 60s and beginning of the 70s, we kind of maintained those and we would update them, and then we sort of stopped. We decided that we didn't like that anymore. The American Society of Civil Engineers says we're about $2.2 trillion in arrears on our investment in infrastructure because you need to keep doing it. You need to keep replacing pipes. You need to keep building new plants so that you have more capacity. There are so many things that you need to do.
Everything is dropped on the ground. He's part of your watershed now.
That the more educated people are about these systems, the more likely they are to be able to make informed decisions, and informed decisions are what we need.
So how does water get from the river into your house or here at school?
A point emphasized in a PBS documentary called Liquid Assets.
Somebody has to bring that water to us, and somebody has to take it away when we're finished with it.
The Water Environment Protection Agency's Linda Kelly says just because it is out of sight, it shouldn't be out of mind.
The infrastructure that they can't see is falling apart. You wouldn't let your house be 100 years old and not ever do any maintenance to it. You would make sure.
Hewler agrees.
What are the options? Are you going to build? Are you going to invest? Or are you just going to stand here and fold your arms and say, paying is inconvenient, and I prefer convenience to investment? And so far, we've chosen this death before inconvenience approach, and we're going to have to make a change.
For every individual citizen has to be.
But it won't change overnight, Hewler says. It is work that could take generations.
People to be planting.
50 years from now, we're going to have to rethink it again. I mentioned when I spoke that a generation ago, when they solved stormwater problems, they knew what to do. You're going to straighten that creek out, and you're going to trench it, and you're going to channelize it, and the water's going to go away real fast, and everybody wins, because then the cars can drive, and we're rid of that water. Well, now we have realized that that's catastrophic. That destroys our rivers and streams, and it wastes this precious resource of rainwater, of stormwater, which should be percolating down into the soil and recharging those rivers and streams.
Rivers and streams that will be vital to future generations.
We have to make the best decisions now with the information we have now. We can only live now. We only have one shot at this. And right now, our shot at it is that basically we're going to say to our kids, hey, we're sorry we ruined everything and wouldn't pay to fix anything. It's time for us to die. Good luck.
Hewler hopes that by understanding the assets under our feet, future generations will have the same quality of life that we have.
So simply, how did we get here?
Well, Rob, originally when these systems were built, the federal government heavily subsidized them. So the municipalities didn't take into account the cost to upkeep them when they developed the water prices.
So in fact, are we paying too little for the water that we use?
Water only accounts for about 1% of a family's annual income. While it's really nice, it's awfully cheap, Rob.
Now, I know this is a vast problem that has many differing aspects, but what can we do as individuals to at least do our part?
Well, Rob, we can start by using less water, but we can also change the way we build things. I know from a package that I did last year that porous concrete can be used to reduce the amount of runoff in building projects. Imagine how environmentally friendly a patio would be. Just think if we had roads and highways made out of it.
Absolutely, every little bit counts. Thank you so much, Courtney. Good story. Now, if you'd like to see more on this environmentally friendly concrete, just head to okhorizon.com where we have Courtney's complete story under this week's Value Added.